And yeah, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jerry with half of Sanctified Supply Co. My wife and I make t-shirts to glorify the Most High. And today we're going to be reading the book of Genesis. No, sorry. We read the book of Genesis. Um, Anyways, we'll be reading the book of Exodus. It's my mistake. Gotta get my list of Bible books that we're going to be reading. We started in the smallest books of the Bible, and we're working our way up to the longest books. My notes have escaped me. That's okay. The next few videos, we will be in the book of Exodus. And I'm going to be reading out of the Scriptures, TS 2009. It's going to be on page, let's see what page, 57. Is the audio coming in okay for you guys? Let me know. JR Cleve, shalom. Sorry that I'm late. I don't have any excuse for it. I just woke up late. And I'm not used to doing morning live streams. So we'll get into the swing of things. I'm going live in the morning today because this evening we will be live on Ken Heidelbrecht's channel on YouTube. It's called Hanging on His Words. This is a t-shirt that Lucia and I have done in collaboration with him, which is super cool. Big shout out to Ken Heidelbrecht from Hanging on His Words for allowing us to work with him and to make some merch to glorify our Father. Let's go ahead and have a word of prayer and we'll get right into reading. Heavenly Father, we just come before you and ask you to open up this book to us, to give us eyes to see and ears to hear. May this time be edifying and pleasing in your sight. Father, help me to read clearly so that the listeners will be able to comprehend your word, and help me to understand it as well as I'm reading. Thank you so much for all the many blessings that you do in our life and for our homes and families. I pray that you keep them safe, and I pray a blessing on everybody listening right now. And we just thank you and praise your name in the name of your Son Yeshua. Amen. All right. Without any further ado, Exodus chapter 1. And there are the names of the children of Israel who came to Mitzrayim with Jacob, each one with his household: Reuben, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all those who were descendants of Jacob were 70 beings, as Joseph was already in Mitzrayim. And Joseph died, and all his brothers, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased very much, multiplied and became very strong. And the land was filled with them. Then a new sovereign, a new king, rose over Egypt, who did not know Joseph. And he said to his people, "See, the children of Israel are more and stronger than we. Come, let us act wisely toward them, lest they increase. And it shall be, when fighting befalls us, that they shall join our enemies and fight against us, and shall go up out of the land." So they set slave masters over them to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh cities, supply cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they increased and grew. And they were in dread of the children of Israel. And the Mitzrites made the children of Israel serve with harshness. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and all kinds of work in the field. All their work which they made them do was with harshness. Then the sovereign of Mitzrayim spoke to the Hebrew midwives, of whom the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when you deliver the Hebrew women and see them on the birth stools, If it is a son, then you shall put him to death. But if it is a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared Elohim, and did not do as the sovereign of Mitzrayim commanded them, and kept the male children alive. So the sovereign of Mitzrayim called for the midwives to say to them, Why have you done this, and kept the male children alive? And the midwives said to Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not like the Mitzrite women, for they are lively, and give birth more before the midwives come to them. So Elohim was good to the wives, and the people increased and became very numerous. But it came to be, because the midwives feared Elohim, that he provided households for them. And Pharaoh commanded all his people, saying, Throw every son who is born into the river, and keep alive every daughter. Chapter 2. JS Genesis Designs, Shalom. Drive safe, brother. Travis Bolt, Shalom. All right, we're on chapter 2, book of Exodus, Chapter 2. A man of the house of Levi went and married a daughter of Levi, and the house conceived and bore a son, and she saw that he was a lovely child, and she hid him 3 months. And when she could hide him no longer, she took an ark of wicker for him, and coated it with tar and pitch, and put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the edge of the river. And his sister stood at a distance to know what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her young women were walking by the river's side. And when she saw the ark along the reeds, she sent her female servant to get it, and opened it and saw the child, and see, the baby wept. So she had compassion on him and said, This is one of the children of the Hebrews. And his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women to nurse the child for you? So this is the baby's sister, the child's sister, Moses' sister, asked Pharaoh, Shall I go call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women to nurse the child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the young woman went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Take this child away and nurse him for me. Then I shall pay you your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moshe, saying, Because I have drawn him out of the water. And in those days it came to be, when Moshe was grown, that he went out to his brothers and looked at their burdens. And he saw a Mitzrite striking a Hebrew, one of his brothers. So he turned this way and that, just looking around. And when he saw no one, he struck the Mitzrite and hid him in the sand, killed him. And he went out the second day and saw 2 Hebrew men fighting. And he said to one, Who did you wrong? Why do you strike your neighbor? And he said, Who made you a head and judge over us? Do you intend to kill me as you killed the Mitzrite, the Egyptian? And Moshe feared and said, Truly the matter is known. And Pharaoh heard of this, and he sought to kill Moshe. But Moshe fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well, and the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and they filled their troughs to water their father's flock. But the shepherds came and drove them away. Then Moshe stood up and came to their rescue and watered their flock. And they came to Reuel, their father, and they came to Reuel, their father, and he said, How is it that you have come so soon today? And they said, A Mitzrite rescued us from the hand of the shepherds, and he also drew enough water for us and watered the flock. And he said to his daughter, to his daughters, "And where is he? Why did you leave the man? Call him and let him eat bread." And Moshe agreed to dwell with the man, and he gave Zipporah his daughter to Moshe, and she bore him a son and called his name Gershom. For he said, "I have become a sojourner and in a foreign land." Excuse me. And it came to be after these many days that the sovereign of Mitzrayim died. The king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel groaned because of the slavery. And they cried out, and their cry came up to Elohim because of the slavery. And Elohim heard their groaning, and Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham and Yitzhak and Jacob. And Elohim looked on the children of Israel, and Elohim knew. Sorry, I might be getting a little something here. Chapter 3. And Moshe was shepherding the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the back of the wilderness, and came to Horeb, the mountain of Elohim. And the messenger of Yahweh appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. This is interesting, right? Listen to the way it's put. The messenger of Yahweh appeared to him in a flame of fire in the midst of a bush. Okay, I believe, and this is me, don't shoot me, don't shoot the messenger. I believe this is Yeshua, personally. Some people believe it's an angel, some people believe it's the Father himself. I believe it's Yeshua. And he looked and saw the bush burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. And Moshe said, "Let me turn aside now and see this great sight, why the bush does not burn." And Yahweh saw that he turned aside to see, and Elohim called to him from the midst of the bush and said, "Moshe, Moshe." And he said, "Here I am." And he said, "Do not come near, take your sandals off your feet, for the place on which you stand is set apart ground." And he said, "I am the Elohim of your father, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, the Elohim of Jacob." And Moshe hid his face, for he was afraid to look at Elohim. And Yahweh said, "I have indeed seen the oppression of my people who are in Mitzrayim, and have heard their cry because of their slave drivers, for I know their sorrows. And I have come down to deliver them from the hand of the Mitzrites, and to bring them up from that land to a good and spacious land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. And now see, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen their oppression with which the Mitzrites oppress them. And now, come, I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Mitzrayim." And Moshe said to Elohim, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh, and that I should bring the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim?" And he said, "Because I am with you, and this is to you a sign that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Mitzrayim, you are to serve Elohim on this mountain." And Moshe said to Elohim, "See, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, 'The Elohim of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they say to me, 'What is his name?' You shall say to them, and Elohim, what shall I say to them?" And Elohim said to Moshe, "I am that which I am." And he said, "Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, 'I am has sent me to you.'" And I think that the way that, good morning, Bethany. I think that the way that Yeshua talks to the Pharisees, they say, we aren't, the Pharisees said to Yeshua, "We are not born of adultery. We know our father." And he says, before Abraham was, I am. And I just think it. Anyways, I won't get tied up on that too much. But verse 15, and Elohim said further to Moshe, thus you are to say to the children of Israel. Oops, sorry, my microphone's bumping around over here. And Elohim said further to Moshe, thus you are to say to the children of Israel, Yahweh Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, the Elohim of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my remembrance to all generations. Go, go, and you shall gather the elders of Israel together, and say to them, Yahweh Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Abraham of Yitzhak, and of Jacob, appeared to me, saying, I have indeed visited you and seen what is done to you in Mitzrayim. And I say, I am bringing you up out of the affliction of Mitzrayim, to the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittite, and the Amorite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite, and to a land flowing with milk and honey. And they shall listen to your voice, and you shall come. And the elders of Israel to the sovereign, you and the elders of Israel to the sovereign of Mitzrayim. And you shall say to him, Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews has met with us. And now, please let us go 3 days' journey into the wilderness to slaughter to Yahweh our Elohim. But I know that the sovereign of Mitzrayim is not going to let you go, not even by a strong hand. And I shall stretch out my hand and strike Mitzrayim with all my wonders, which I shall do in its midst. And after that he shall let you go. And I shall give this people favor in the sight of the Mitzrites. And it shall be that when you go, you shall not go empty-handed. But every woman shall ask from her neighbor and from her who sojourns in her house objects of silver and objects of gold and raiment. And you shall put them on your sons and your daughters, and shall plunder the Mitzrites. Chapter 4. And Moshe answered and said, and if they do not believe me, nor listen to my voice, and say, Yahweh has not appeared to you, and if they do not believe me, nor listen to my voice, and say, Yahweh has not appeared to you, and Yahweh said to him, What is it that is in your hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, throw it on the ground. So he threw it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moshe fled from it. And Yahweh said to Moshe, reach out your hand and seize it by the tail. So he reached out his hand and took hold of it. And it became a rod in his hand. So that they believed that Yahweh Elohim of their fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Jacob, has appeared to you. And Yahweh said to him again, now put your hand in your bosom. And he put his hand in his bosom. And when he took it out, see, the hand was leprous, like snow. And he said, put your hand in your bosom again. So he put his hand in his bosom again, and drew it out of his bosom. And see, it was restored like his other flesh. And it shall be, if they do not believe you, nor listen to the voice of the first sign, they shall believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall be, if they do not believe even these two signs, or listen to your voice, that you shall take water from the river, and pour it on the dry land. And the water which you take from the river shall become blood on the dry land. And Moshe said to Yahweh, O Yahweh, I am not a man of words, neither before nor since. You have spoken to your servant, for I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. And Yahweh said to him, who has made man's mouth, or who makes dumb, or deaf, or seeing, or blind? Is it not I, Yahweh? And now go, and I shall be with your mouth, and teach you what to say. But he said, O Yahweh, please send by the hand of him whom you would send. And the displeasure of Yahweh burned against Moshe, and he said, Is not Aharon the Levite your brother? I know that he speaks well, and see, he is also coming out to meet you. And when he sees you, he shall be glad in his heart. So, real quick, I want to pause because I see a common theme with most leaders. Most of them didn't want to be in a leadership position. Moshe is recorded as being the most humble man. I think probably before Yeshua. I think Yeshua is probably extremely humble, considering his status. But Moshe clearly didn't want to be in this position. But the father was like, "You're gonna do what I said you're gonna do," and Moshe had to walk in obedience. But I see that with a lot of the men that I really look up to in leadership positions, is that they didn't just want to be leading people. You know, the people who want to rule over folks don't actually make great leaders, frankly. But I digress. Verse 15. And you shall speak to him and put the words in his mouth. And I am with your mouth and with his mouth, and I shall teach you what to do. And he shall speak for you to the people. And it shall be that he shall be a mouth for you, and you shall be an Elohim for him. And take your rod in your hand with which you shall do the signs. Pardon me, you guys, I'm sorry. Then Moshe went and returned to that's Jethro, his father-in-law, and said to him, "Please let me go and return to my brothers, who are in Mitzrayim, to see whether they are still alive." Oh no, that wasn't Jethro. And Jethro said to Moshe, "Go in peace." And Yahweh said to Moshe in Midian, "Go, return to Mitzrayim, for all the men are dead who sought your life." So Moshe took his wife and his sons and set them on a donkey, and he returned to the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe took a rod of Elohim in his hand. And Yahweh said to Moshe, "As you go back to Mitzrayim, see that you do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand. But I am going to strengthen his heart, so that he does not let the people go. And you shall say to Pharaoh, 'Thus said Yahweh, Israel is my son, my firstborn. So I say to you, let my son go to serve me. But if you refuse to let him go, see, I am killing your son, your firstborn.' And it came to be on the way in the lodging place that Yahweh met him and sought to kill him. And Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and threw it at his feet and said, 'You are indeed a bridegroom of blood to me.' So he let him go. Then she said, 'You are a bridegroom of blood because of the circumcision.'" Interesting. I'm not sure if you caught it, but Zipporah, his wife, because of her obedience to keep the commands to circumcise their child the 8th day, saved his life. He was going to be cut off. Check it out. Verse 23, "So I say to you, let my son go to serve me, but if you refuse to let him go, see, I am killing your son, your firstborn." Verse 24, "And it came to be on the way in the lodging place that Yahweh met him and sought to kill him. And Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and threw it at his feet and said, 'You are indeed a bridegroom of blood to me.' So he, Yahweh, let him go. Then she said, 'You are a bridegroom of blood because of the circumcision.'" Verse 27, "And Yahweh said to Aharon, 'Go to meet Moshe in the wilderness.' And he went and met him on the mountain of Elohim and kissed him. And Moshe then told Aaron all the words of Yahweh, who had sent him, and all the signs which Yahweh had commanded him. And Moshe went with Aaron and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spoke to all spoke all the words which Yahweh had spoken to Moshe. Then he did the signs before the eyes of all the people, and the people believed. And they heard that Yahweh had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked on their affliction. And they bowed their heads and did obeisance. Working while listening, Travis Bolt. Oh no, you're good. You're good. Thomas touching the pierced side of Yeshua comes to mind. Interesting thing I just picked up on. Yet, yes, Yahusha was the prophet like unto Moshe. Yep, and not listened to the first time, but could not go. Ignored the second time. Yeah, it's great how the Father points things out each time we read through His living Word. Remember that in some way that we can't quite comprehend, this is the embodiment, the character of Yahweh, because He is the Word made flesh. So, I mean, this is something significant, right? It's not the pages, it's not the ink on the pages, but it's the Word. So essentially it's what's coming out, not what you're seeing through your eyes. But anyways, we'll just keep on going. It's beyond my comprehension why I try to put it in words. But here we are, chapter 5. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great. Excuse me for all the gross noises I'm making. Apparently I woke up with a little bit something going on here. Yeah, it is interesting how people tend to skip over the part where Yah says he will harden Pharaoh's heart because it's his plan, not Pharaoh's will. Yeah, and it's interesting also that as we read in this, it gives you insight to know that Moses knew this going into it, that Pharaoh's heart was going to be hard. So Moses, I'm always a little bit perplexed at why he's so, he seems to be caught off guard or surprised, but he should know the game plan. The Father told him, but it's to show His power and might. Amen. Yeah, and so that it could be recorded like this, it's historic. It happened. So there were so many witnesses. I liken it unto, I guess, in a much smaller way, Paul, when he was being persecuted, right? That he didn't want to talk to the county mayor. He was like, nope, take me before Caesar. And he went before Caesar, and he proclaimed Yeshua on the highest level in the land. And it's similar to that, where like he went to the highest authority of that day, and it became recorded history so that it could not be swept under the rug. But anyways, here we go, chapter 5. And afterward Moshe and Aharon went in and said to Pharaoh, thus said Yahweh Elohim of Israel, let my people go, so that they celebrate a festival to me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is Yahweh that I should obey his voice and let Israel go? I do not know Yahweh, nor am I going to let Israel go. And they said, the Elohim of the Hebrews has met with us. Please let us go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and slaughter to Yahweh our Elohim, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. Now, if Moshe was not a very humble man, he would have been like, all right, you're not going to let my people go? Here's how it's going to be, but he didn't. He was just like, come on, please let him go. All right. Sorry. Elohim. Oh yeah, and they said, But the sovereign of Mitzrayim said to them, Moshe and Aaron, why do you take the people from their work? Oh, sorry, I missed some. Verse 3. And they said, the Elohim of the Hebrews has met with us. Please let us go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and slaughter to Yahweh our Elohim, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. But the sovereign of Mitzrayim said to them, Moshe and Aharon, why do you take the people from their work? Get back to your burdens. And Pharaoh said, please see, the people of the land are many now, and you make them cease from their burdens. And the same day Pharaoh commanded the slave drivers of the people and their foremen, saying, you are no longer to give the people straw to make bricks as before. Let them go and gather straw for themselves, and lay on them the required amount of bricks which they made before. Do not diminish it, for they are idle. That is why they cry out, saying, let us go and slaughter to our Elohim. Let more work be laid on them, so that they labor in it, and not to pay attention to the words of falsehood. And the slave drivers of the people and their foremen went out and spoke to the people, saying, thus said Pharaoh, I do not give you straw. Go take straw for yourselves where you find it, for your work shall not be diminished. And the people were scattered in all the land of Mitzrayim to gather stubble for straw. And the slave drivers were hurrying them on, saying, fulfill your actions, your daily matters, as when there was straw. So the foremen of the children of Israel, whom Pharaoh's slave drivers set over them, were struck and were asked, why have you not fulfilled your law in making bricks both yesterday and today as before? And the foreman of the children of Israel came and cried out to Pharaoh, saying, why do you treat your servants this way? There is no straw given to your servants. And they say to us, make bricks. And see, your servants are struck, but your own people are at fault. But he said, you are idle, you are idle. That is why you say, let us go and slaughter to Yahweh. So now go, work, and straw is not given to you, but deliver the amount of bricks. And the foreman of the children of Israel saw that they were in trouble after it was said, you are not to diminish your daily amount of bricks. And when they came out from Pharaoh, they met Moshe and Aharon, who stood there to meet them. And they said to them, let Yahweh look on you and judge, because you have made us loathsome in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, to give a sword in their hand to kill us. And Moshe returned to Yahweh and said, Yahweh, why have you done evil to this people? Why did you send me? Forever since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done evil to this people, and you are not delivered. And you are not delivered your people at all. Good morning, Tenacious Tortoise. Good to see you. All right, chapter 6. And Yahweh said to Moshe, see, now see what I do to Pharaoh, for with a strong hand he is going to let them go, and with a strong hand he is going to drive them out of his land. And Elohim spoke to Moshe and said to him, I am Yahweh. And I appeared to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob as El Shaddai, and by my name Yahweh was I not known to them. And I also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of the sojourning in which they have sojourned. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Mitzrites are enslaving. And I have remembered my covenant. Say therefore to the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I shall bring you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrites, and shall deliver you from their enslaving, and shall redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments. And you shall take and shall take you as my people, and I shall be your Elohim. And you shall know that I am Yahweh your Elohim who brings you. Oh, gross. Sorry. The spider just fell and landed on my Bible. That's really gross. And I'm going to kill it. Where'd you come from, little bastard? Look at this little guy. Just fell out and landed on my Bible. Alright, that was distracting. Sorry. Where was I? Totally lost. Sorry. I guess I'll start back here in verse 4. And I also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan and the land of the sojournings in which they have sojourned. I have also heard the groanings of the children of Israel, whom the Mitzrites are enslaving, and I have remembered my covenant, saying, Therefore to the children of Israel I am Yahweh, and I shall bring you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrites, and shall deliver you from their enslaving, and shall redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments, and shall take you as my people, and I shall be your Elohim. And you shall know that I am Yahweh your Elohim, who is bringing you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrites. And I shall bring you into the land which I swore to give Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob, to give it to you as an inheritance. I am Yahweh. And Moshe spoke thus to the children of Israel, but they did not listen to Moshe because of shortness of spirit, and from hard slavery. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Go in, speak to the Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, to let the children of Israel go out of his land. And Moshe spoke before Yahweh, saying, The children of Israel have not listened to me, and why would Pharaoh listen? And why would Pharaoh listen to me? For I am of uncircumcised lips. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe and to Aaron to give them a command for the children of Israel, and for Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim. These are the heads of their fathers. These are the heads of their fathers' houses. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, Hanok, Palu, Hetron, and Carmi. These are the clans of Reuben. And the sons of Shimon, Yemuel, and Yamin, and Ohad, and Yakin, and Sohar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. These are the clans of Shimon. These are the names of the sons of Levi, according to their generations: Gershon, Ketha, Merari. And the years of the life of Levi were 137. The sons of Gershon, Libni, and Shimi, according to their clans. And the sons of Kehath, Amram, and Yitzhar, and Hebron, and Uziel. And the years of the life of Kehath were 133. And the sons of Merari, Mali, and Mushi. These are the clans of Levi according to their generations. And Amram took himself Jochebed, his father's sister, as wife, and she bore him Aharon and Moshe. And the years of the life of Amram were 137. And the sons of Yitzhar, Korah, and Nepheg, and Zikri. And the sons of Uziel, Mishael, and Eltsaphan, and Sithri. Aaron took himself Elisheba, son of Aminadab, sister of Nashon, as wife. And she bore him Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And the sons of Korah, Asir, Elkanah, and Abiesah. Abiasaph. These are the clans of the Korites. And Eleazar, Aaron's son, took for himself one of the daughters of Putiel as wife, and she bore him Phinehas. These are the heads of the fathers of the Levites according to their clans. This is Aaron and Moshe, to whom Yahweh said, "Bring out the children of Israel from the land of the Mitzrites according to their divisions." They're just making sure you know which Aaron and Moshe we're talking about here. Verse 27. They were the ones who spoke to Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, to bring out the children of Israel from Mitzrayim. This is Moshe and Aaron. And it came to be on the day when Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the land of Mitzrayim, that Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, I am Yahweh. Speak to Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, all that I say to you. And Moshe said before Yahweh, See, I am of uncircumcised lips, and why should Pharaoh listen to me? All right, guys. I don't want to keep on coughing and sniffing and stuff on here. So I think we're going to put a marker in the book, pick up on chapter 7. Was it Wednesday? So Friday. And we'll be back to an evening schedule. Actually, I don't know. Will you guys like this? In the morning or the evening? Oh, I'll play it by ear. If I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. I'll have to talk to Lucia and see what she likes better. Sometimes she likes it on Friday night when I'm just freed up to spend time with the family. So might lean on that direction. Grafted Branch Homestead, bless you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. The Testament of Amram is an excellent read. I'll have to read that. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, as the Spirit leads, we'll play it by ear for sure. Anyways, bless you guys. Thank you for following along and reading with me this morning. I hope it's been a blessing for you, and I hope you have an awesome day. If you're available, tune into the live stream tonight. It'll be 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Hanging on His Words YouTube channel. I don't know if I'm able to link that. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to do something real quick. Hey, Grafted Branch Homestead, is it possible for you to post me to put a link in the description? Sorry, not a link in the description. I just made you a moderator. If you know about Hanging on His Words YouTube channel, yeah, this shirt's available on our website, and it also benefits our brother Ken over at Hanging on His Words YouTube channel. He's got an excellent YouTube channel, much bigger and more professional than my channel. He does a lot of great teachings on the feast days, and he's just got really excellent content, really thoughtful, and he takes his time and puts together really great presentations. Good morning, Frank Puzzleman. Good to see you, brother. I'm not sure that... Sorry, Grafted Branch Homestead, to put you up to that, but I know that you know your way around the devices. Oh, okay, no worry. No, you don't need to do that. I'm sorry. Here, I need another moderator. Who wants to be a moderator? I don't know that I was successfully turned you into a moderator. There we go. Did I do it now? Did I not do it? Add as a moderator. I'm really bad at interneting stuff. So, thank you, Grafted Branch. I appreciate it. So anyways, yeah, that channel is, I've got a lot out of it post comment, new mod. Is that you volunteering, J.R. Cleve? Oh yeah, Bethany, I'm making you a moderator. I'm not gonna even ask you. I'm volunteering you. That's you. You were voluntold. No, but you think you're bad. I'm ancient. Yeah. For my generation, I'm like way behind the curve. Yeah, I need the you uploaded the link. Okay. Yeah, let's get. I I need some of you guys that are here on a regular. I don't know if it successfully turned any of you into moderators. I've been trying. I'm clicking add as mod. I'm It might be because I don't know what I'm doing. Add as a moderator. I'm doing it. Okay. Well, oh well. Hanging on his words is the YouTube channel. Let me Am I doing it? Did I mess something up? Let's see. As a moderator. Okay. Well, you guys can copy and paste. Grafted Branch Homestead posted the link. I'm sorry that I. Oh, Palmetto Paratrooper, bro. You're the only moderator that I have already, and I'm not having any luck adding new moderators. Can you find, please, the YouTube channel Hanging on His Words with it's Ken Heidelbrecht, and post that link in the chat so that the rest of the viewers in here can find that channel. I was just telling them we're going to be live on that channel this evening, and Lucia and I are just going to be awesome. Thank you. Lucia and I are going to be how we got started doing this, and yeah, kind of letting his audience know that we're making some t-shirts for him. This is the first of hopefully more t-shirts to come, and these shirts obviously they help us out, but they're also going to benefit him and his channel. He's still working full time and doing the YouTube ministry as well, and I really want to help him bring in enough finances to to be able to focus more on kingdom business than and I don't know what he does for work. It could also be kingdom business. Anything you do with all your heart can be a witness for the Most High. Almost anything. But hopefully I will pop in to say hi, but family is coming into town, so not sure we can be there. Prayers though for a smooth live stream. Thank you. Yeah, we were supposed to have a live stream last Friday, Friday night, but we had technical difficulties. All things work together for our good that love him and are called according to his purposes, though. So I can only imagine it'll be a blessing that we're doing it on Wednesday instead of a Friday night when our shop is closed. So if anybody decides to pick up one of his shirts, they'll be able to actually go to our shop and pick one up. He's a shredder. I don't know. I don't know what that means. All right. Bless you guys. Thanks so much. Okay, yeah. Go subscribe over there. You guys will be edified by his content. He's put a lot of work into the channel. Thank you, Palmetto Paratrooper, for putting that link in the description. Thank you all for tuning in. And have a blessed day. We'll catch you in the next one. Catch you later on this evening, hopefully. All right. Shalom.